Assalamualaikum and good day. I am Zaidatul with my team Majdina, Ikram, Zakwan, Suhaila and Izdihar from CFS IIUM. Today we would like to share with you our innovation called Synonym-Aid. Knowledge of vocabulary is very important when we want to be proficient in a language. It acts like a bridge for us to learn other language skills such as speaking, listening, reading, and writing. When talking about content knowledge or specific genre, having the knowledge of specialized vocabulary, specific words, is essential for us to understand the topic and also for us to be able to convey our understanding of the topic. McWhorter stated that vocabulary determines how clearly and accurately we can express our ideas through writing. And this was proven through a study by Karakoch and Jose in Turkey. And in their study, they discovered that students who had difficulty writing in a second language, they lack sufficient vocabulary. And in 2022, Mustafa Azmi Bengol conducted a research to find out about the difficulties that were faced by candidates of IELTS in Iraq. And it was found that the main problems that they had was with writing components and, to be specific, writing graph analysis essay. These candidates had difficulty in comparing the figures and describing trends of the graph. And also, they find it difficult to use or to find a specific appropriate words and language for this genre of writing. And during the study, the students also complained that in order for them to be able to write this type of essay, they need to learn new sets of words. In CFS IIUM, one of the writing components for English placement test or English proficiency test EPT is also graph analysis essay. And similar to what happened in Iraq, CFS students also have problem producing good graph analysis essay because they lack vocabulary. Writing graph analysis essay is actually very challenging for most students because of its technicality, and they need specific sets of vocabulary, which is different from a common writing task. Okay, one of the methods to improve vocabulary among second language learners is actually through the use of word cards. Adas and Bakir stated that the reason is because through repetitive exposure, with the use of word cards, these learners will be able to store and retrieve words easily. And how we use word cards, the Synonym-Aid will be further explained by Ikram.
So now I'm going to present our innovation which is called Synonym-Aid. Synonym-Aid is a set of flashcards which contains all the important vocabulary that students need for graph analysis, and it is divided into two parts. The first part is the list of synonyms for verbs and nouns that express different trends and movements. As you can see, the front page of the card is a graph showing an increasing trend. So at the back of the card, we list down all the nouns and verbs which have similar meaning to increase, such as climb, growth, rise, and so on. The second part of Synonym-Aid is the synonyms of adverbs and adjectives, which are categorized into different degree of movement. For example, there on the screen, the front page of the second part was highlighted to indicate a medium range movement, and at the back you see the adjectives and adverbs that are suitable for medium range movements such as moderate, gradual, steady, and reasonable. We also color coded the card with blue and pink to indicate their pairs, where nouns should be paired with adjectives and verbs should be paired with adverbs. Student can either write using noun phrases such as the graph experienced a moderate growth, or they can use verb phrases like the graph grew moderately. Moving on to the next part, we have three objectives to be achieved by using Synonym-Aid. The first one, we aim to assist students' understanding of synonymous word use in graph analysis. And the next one is to encourage independent learning among second language learners in doing their tasks and assignments. And lastly, we want to help students in enriching their vocabulary, especially in analyzing a graph. So now, for the usage and testing of Synonym-Aid, my friend Suhaila will further explain.
All right, so we're moving on to the usage of Synonym-Aid, okay, which is very simple. First, of course, the teachers will have to expose students to graph analysis essay writing, okay, the format, sentence structure, as well as the suitable vocabulary. Then the teachers can introduce Synonym-Aid and give a graph analysis question while encouraging the students to use Synonym-Aid to write their analysis. So we did a pilot test. We asked our teachers to use Synonym-Aid in their class. So the teacher divided the students into two groups. One is experimental group with access to Synonym-Aid, and another is control group without access. And we analyzed the students' writings, focusing on the students' vocabulary, and we found out that the students who used Synonym-Aid, they used more varieties of vocabulary with higher accuracy compared to those who did not. The experiment was replicated in two additional classes to ensure validity. So as you can see here, this is a sample from the control group. This student did not use Synonym-Aid, and as you can see, the student has limited vocabulary, only using decrease and increase to describe the trends, whereas the student from the experimental group uses a lot more varieties of vocabulary with accuracy and minimal repetition.
So, it is clear that Synonym-Aid brings many positive outcomes to students. I would like to highlight three of them. The first one is that it helps to improve students' vocabulary knowledge. It is a very important component in mastering a language. Next, it also promotes learning independently as it allows students to take control of their learning process. And finally, it helps them to produce better graph analysis as the result have shown. Okay, let's talk about the sustainability of this invention. Well, what makes this invention remain relevant. Okay, the first factor is that graph analysis is a huge part of IELTS and NWET assessment. The second one is that it can be customized to fit various CEFR level. And the last one is that we are actually in the process of making this card into digital. Okay, so that is all from us. Thank you. We hope that this invention will benefit even more students going forward, and our vision of turning this digitally also will be accomplished. Thank you, everyone, and Assalamualaikum.